maybe 100 degrees outside, but I'm still wearing the sweatshirt because USC and God, the things I do for views. Alright, the sweatshirt's off. It was way too hot for that. What's up guys, my name is Josh. I'm going to be a student at Dartmouth College this fall, and I'm making a lot of videos about essays because I feel like this helps people, and honestly I obsessed over them in high school when I was applying, so yeah. I'm gonna preface this video by saying that I do love USC still. Ultimately, I did pick against it because I wanted to be far away from home, so if it were in a different location, it would have been a different consideration for me. Today I'm going to be reading the essays that got me a full tuition scholarship to USC. So I've been making a lot of videos that were really long lately, so I'm going to try to keep this to a minimum. So for USC, I had to send in my common application, which I believe you can find right here. I'm gonna link it right there. So please watch that video if you want to see the common application that I sent to USC. And also I sent 2 supplementary essays to the school as part of their writing supplement. The 2 essays were, one was a longer prompt that you can choose from. There were 3 prompts to choose from. I forgot what they were. I'll read the one that I chose. And also the Why USC essay. So I'll read the first one that I mentioned, the one where you had a choice. I chose the prompt that said, describe something outside of your intended academic focus about which you are interested in learning, and it was 250 words. So I'm gonna read this right now. So here's my essay. I believe that the greatest problem we face in society is cognitive dissonance, and that this manifests itself in media narrowcasting. Narrowcasting is people's consumership of the media, allowing them to choose their sources for news and entertainment. Equipped with this ability, however, audiences may decide to favor biased sources for reporting without being properly educated on how to avoid being swayed by sensationalist pieces. I intend to explore the ethics of journalism and how news outlets must find a balance between stories which will generate viewership and stories which are genuinely relevant to their audience. I would also like to explore the influence of the media on modern politics and how major political issues are framed. Using my background in classics and cognitive science, I'd combine the study of the main historical proprietors of spin with analysis of why their rhetoric was effective. By comparing modern media accounts by ancient historians, I believe they were heavily biased, such as Plutarch and Herodotus. I intend to discover the commonalities between ancient Greco-Roman propaganda and narrowcasting in the modern media. In addition, applying my background in cognitive science, I want to discover the effects of framing bias and the influence of specific verbiage in determining the slant of news stories. My goal is to reform and improve the reporting of news through a systematic study of bias and ethics in pursuit of striking the balance of a narrowcasted media that both caters to its consumers while preserving its integrity. So yeah, as I said, the prompt was to describe something that you are interested in learning that is outside of your academic focus. So I applied to USC as a cognitive science and classics major. So media, journalism was pretty much far removed from that, and I wanted to show how unique my perspective would be as a student there by employing things that I would learn through these majors and applying them to the realm of journalism and media. So I think that was really interesting to the admissions counselors and the interviewers because they kept referencing this essay when they asked me questions, and when they accepted me, they sent me an email and said this was one of the reasons that you were accepted, and it was this essay specifically. And I guess they were just really intrigued by how I could intersect the different fields properly. So the idea for this essay actually came from something that I learned in AP government class and also in my honors literature seminar in classics and science fiction. So we read about narrowcasting in my AP government class, and I thought that was just really interesting because it applied to the current event of fake news and how that was pretty dumb, and like how news sources are becoming super biased. You know, like liberals watch MSNBC and conservatives watch Fox News, and I hate both networks. So I wanted to make this very, not really apolitical, but more bipartisan, unbiased, and talk about how spin can really affect how people view the world. And I just wanted to connect that to the things I read in my classics and science fiction class about like the founding of Sparta and how it like the view that people held towards it changed by the author and by the historians. Yeah, I was really passionate about this essay because it just combined everything that I loved with politics, which I also love talking about, and journalism and how ideas are transmitted. Fun fact, I actually had my college counselor at school read this essay, and she told me to change the structure of the essay entirely. Like after the part where it says, and how major political issues are framed, and I go into my perspective as someone who wants to study cognitive science and classics, she told me to cut all of that out and talk about classes I wanted to take in journalism instead. And I thought that was pretty dumb because I felt like that was what made me unique as an applicant, because I could combine all these fields from different aspects of scholarship and just combine them to make change and like impact the world in some way. My lesson here is just, if someone gives you criticism on an essay, it's perfectly fine to reject it as long as you have reasons for it and you can argue against it. I understand that it might have been just personal preference of my counselor, but at the same time, this essay just worked out so well for me, and it was because I decided to stick to what I wanted to do and transmit the ideas that I was passionate about. So my second essay is the Why USC essay. So here's the prompt. Describe how you plan to pursue your academic interests at USC. Please feel free to address your first and second choice major selections with a 250 word limit. So this is my essay. My interests lie in discovering the mechanics of how we understand each other. I would like to explore this through thematic option in the cognitive science and classics majors. Before studying anything in depth, I must first understand the history of ideas and how to effectively communicate my own beliefs. Thematic option would allow me to study structures of societal governance in symbols and conceptual systems, and debate ethics of innovation in the process of change in science. Combined with small, focused writing seminars, thematic option would provide me with a strong background in composition and an interdisciplinary base in liberal arts. My academic focus would be in cognitive science with an emphasis on linguistics. Having previously worked as an elementary school English tutor and having grown up bilingual, I would like to explore lifelong language development through classes such as child language acquisition and children's learning and cognitive development. I would supplement these interests by working as a research assistant in Professor Mitz's Language Development Lab and on the Virtual Humans Natural Language Project in the Institute for Creative Technologies. Additionally, I would continue studying the languages which first sparked my interest in linguistics, Latin and Greek. Through Classics' Language and Literatures track, I would read a variety of works from Roman comedies to Homeric epics to better grasp storytelling's diverse methods. My ultimate goal is to gain a greater understanding of human communication through studying language and ideas, and I believe USC offers boundless opportunities for me to attain it. So in this essay, I talk about several specific things. One is the thematic option program, which is very unique to USC. It makes the big university feel a lot smaller by having focused writing seminars, and you have to apply to the program. So it was kind of risky for me to do this. Like, what if I don't get into the program? And ultimately I did when I applied, but that's beside the point, because I went to a small private school that focused a lot on the liberal arts, and I really wanted that in my my college experience. And I thought highlighting the thematic option program would make me seem like a better fit for USC. My two majors were cognitive science with a focus on linguistics and also classics. So I made sure to mention labs that I wanted to join, classes that I wanted to take, and just show how that related a lot to me. So I mentioned that I was an elementary school English tutor and I grew up bilingual, and this is why I was interested in linguistics, and how I kind of related the classes back to me each time, and just show that I researched the school really well, and also just to say that I would fit in this academic environment because of these reasons and because of my background, and this is a perspective I can bring to these. And at the end, I mentioned my ultimate goal for education, and that was to understand human communication better. And what I wanted to do with that is just to say that even if I do change my major, or even if I don't pursue these things, this is what you're getting out of me, and I hope you like it. I hope you understand that this is the impact that I want to make on the world, and this is how I plan, as of now, on achieving it. So yeah, thanks for watching my video. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below. And I'll be posting a video on my interview process for the scholarship, because once I got admitted early to USC, I had to go to campus and actually interview with professors and academic advisors for the scholarship. So stay tuned, because I'll be posting a video very soon about how I interviewed with the scholarship or for the scholarship and what the experience was like. I know that when I was nominated for the scholarship, I was looking everywhere on like all these forums and stuff for help. Yeah, I just wanted to be a resource, to be the resource that I didn't have. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video, which will be posted very soon.